Hello, hello. Welcome to a very special April Fool's edition of Vaguely Scientific. We typically take a week off around this time of year, but this year we decided to do something a little different, so thanks for tuning in to Vaguely Scientific. I am Derek, one of the hosts of the show, and joining me, as always, is Jim, the scientist. Hi, Jim.
I am another host of the show.
Yay! And Justin was very insistent that he be the guest for this episode, so welcome back, Justin!
I actually don't really want to be here. I'm just kidding. I wanted to be here. I was bothering Derek for like 2 weeks.
Hello! Welcome to a very serious early spring edition of Indeterminately Research-Based. I'm your host, Mark, and this is my co-host, Johnny Science.
Hey, I'm here as well.
We're back here also with friend of the show, Justin, who's been with us so many times before. We just can't get rid of him. How you doing, Justin?
Where am I?
Where are you? You're on Indeterminately Research-Based, my friend. You know that.
Justin.
You know what? Is this a podcast?
Yes.
I'm down. Let's go. I'm ready.
All right.
Well, that's always good to hear.
As you all know, this is a podcast where we talk about the greatest mysteries in life and unlock them with the power of the ostensible. But before we get to any of that, it's time to play another game of, drumroll please, Science, Fact, or Fiction, in which each of us will give 2 lies and 1 truth. Then we will have discussion. And after discussion at the end of the show, we will reveal which of our statements was true. Horse first.
That doesn't sound right. 2 lies and a truth?
Yeah.
Isn't it usually 2 truths and a lie?
I don't think so, Johnny. It's 2 lies and a truth, right?
As long as I can remember, it's always been 2 lies and a truth.
Hey, but,
are you all right, Justin?
You know, let's just keep it. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Let's go.
It'll be great. All right. Well, let's go with our first one here. It is... the first animal in space was a monkey. Our second one is Venus is the only planet to spin clockwise. And our last one is if you put Febreze on an apple and you heat it up, it'll actually make the skin of the apple turn blue.
I hope that last one is true because that sounds rad. Would it taste like a blueberry also?
We'll have to reveal that in the later part of the science, fact, or fiction.
Yes, because it could be a lie.
I feel like it would taste like Febreze, but maybe because
that's
it's
the
an apple?
science.
But what if like apples and Febreze, whenever you put them together, some sort of chemical reaction happened, and then they did? I wouldn't say blueberries. Maybe they taste like apricots.
Yeah. Apricots have a vaguely chemical, je ne sais quoi about them.
Are they not chemicals? I just assumed.
Apricotterol?
Yeah.
Okay, I have 3 potentially true facts or potentially lies. And since on this show we seek to unlock the mysteries of the universe, these are all key themed. So, statement number 1. A full-size standard piano has 99 keys. Statement number 2. DC supervillain The Key is a master of chemistry and primarily a Flash villain. Statement number 3. In the Florida Keys, the infamously tiny island of Little Duck Key, or K, I guess you might say. I forget how it's pronounced. Anyway, the infamously tiny island of Little Duck K is formerly known as Big Money K.
I like that one too. Big money.
I do like Big Money K.
Everybody loves big money.
All right. I guess that's my turn, right?
Yeah.
2 lies and a truth. All right. How many of these are going to be lies? All of them. No.
Is that the lie?
Ooh, is that the lie?
The statement is a lie.
So my first one, great white sharks can live up to 150 years. My second one is seahorses don't have stomachs. And my third one is similar to how owls can rotate their head around 360 degrees. They can also rotate their eyes more than most mammals can and birds can. Like inside their head.
Whoa. Every time you two say a new statement, I want to go, what? But then I'm like, no, Mark, stop. That could be the lie. You'll sound like a fool.
One of them is not a lie, though. But which one?
This is the question.
We'll find out after we get to the bigger questions. Our first question today from Big A. How long is noon?
I mean, about half the day, right?
Half the day. Explain.
Well, because the other half of the day is midnight.
You divide the day arbitrarily into noon and midnight.
Well, yeah, it's night and day. It's noon and midnight, right? That's how time works, isn't it? I mean, maybe not here, but where I'm from, that's how time works. Noon and midnight.
But in the famous words of Ford Prefect, time is an illusion. Lunchtime doubly so.
I like that a lot. And building off of that, I happen to believe that noon is eternal. Lunchtime is eternal.
That's a good way to look at it. I agree with that one.
I don't, because breakfast is the superior meal of the day.
At breakfast, but you have your breakfast do you have your breakfast at noon or midnight?
In between. So it's breakfast, noon, dinner, midnight, I guess is what it would be.
So you have your breakfast at like 3 p.m.?
No, breakfast and then noon.
Oh, okay. Right.
Yeah, breakfast, noon, dinner. Dinner would be at 3 p.m.
Okay.
Okay. We have more divisions to the day. I see. We have meal times, and we have daylight times, right? These two systems of time are smashed together.
Do you think high noon is longer than noon?
Ooh.
I definitely say it's definitely higher.
like elevation wise, like high noon takes place at a higher elevation than noon does. Yeah.
High noon is definitely higher elevated.
Yes, spaghetti westerns famously all took place in the mountains. So
that must have been difficult because water boils more difficultly at high noon, right? Up on mountains.
So
it's harder to make your spaghetti.
It's harder to boil water at high noon than it is at regular noon.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
Let's try our next question from Sierra. Why is there no pepper in the ocean?
All the peppers are on land. You don't grow peppers in the ocean. You grow peppers on farms, on land. You get your salt from the ocean, you get your peppers on land.
There's such a thing as a sea cucumber. How do you know there's not a sea pepper somewhere out there?
Would be a very waterlogged pepper, that's for sure.
Do you think sea peppers are sweet? Do you think they're hot? They're spicy?
I'd say they're like more of a menthol because of all the water. Kind of like a cold spicy, if you will.
So we have we have menthol peppers. Then we have the notorious Newport pepper, and then the camel pepper. Those are the only 3 cigarette brands I know. I don't smoke.
The Marlboro pepper.
Marlboro. Yeah, you go. Yeah. Bringing it back around to Cowboys.
It has a really bad case of bad breath.
Its mascot is a seahorse instead of a camel.
That would make sense.
Camel of the sea, right?
Yeah, the ones that don't have stomachs, right?
Yeah, apparently. or do they? I don't know.
Supposedly. What if the salt and pepper in the ocean is like the Earth's magnets? It'll flop every couple millennia, and then it'll be sea pepper, and you'll have a real special sea pepper that you can put on all your dishes.
I love that.
What color is sea pepper? Because sea salt is like a pinky. Like, oh, it's Himalayan sea salt, I guess. But either way, like, is sea pepper like blue? Purple?
Well, you could go back to the menthol. It could be like a very crystal blue.
Yeah.
That might be something else, though.
If they do taste like menthols, then I would imagine they would be kind of like a turquoise, right?
Yeah. That's what I'm envisioning.
So were the dinosaurs on Earth when the ocean was full of pepper?
I think there's only one way to find out.
We have to eat a dinosaur.
If they're very peppery, then we know.
if they taste a little bit like mint, then we know.
Yes.
So we'll heist into the Museum of Natural Science and steal some dinosaur bones and make a stew, and then we'll know for sure.
I guess you would have to make stew, wouldn't you? Because we can't.
Yeah.
There's no meat, so I guess we'll have to take the bones and be really minerally, right? Be like, oh, I wonder if like a dinosaur stew would be like drinking mineral water.
Yeah. Like on a side tangent, I am actually morbidly curious in like making bone stew with dinosaur bones. That would be very interesting.
They're mostly rocks. Actually, they're all rocks.
All right. Fine. Rock stew then.
Rock stew.
I think that's a thing. I think that I could definitely see if I was a castaway, I would be all about the rock soup.
It tastes a lot like iron. Get your daily iron in.
That is true. Oh, the irony.
Oh. Shall we try another?
Yeah, let's go for another.
Another! Anne from Massachusetts says, why does heat rise?
I would venture a guess that it likes being at the top of the room. Or it thinks it's better than all the other air.
Yeah.
Oh, is that where the term hottie comes from?
It's making sense.
Yeah. That hot air that it just thinks it's so much better than all the other air.
Has a very inflated opinion of itself.
Man, it's like upper class air. 1% air. Is that why the air is so thin up high? Because it's 1%? See, this all starts to make sense when you think about it. Less? More?
I'd say we put a lot of thought into this.
Well, now we know. Hot air is pompous.
Hot air is hottie.
Hottie.
Hottie, yes. We have another question from Marcus. Why do men like bananas more than women?
Oh, Jim. Jim, this is such a... Oh, neither of you are Jim.
Who's Jim? You mean John?
Yeah, I mean, my initials are Jim, but I don't feel like you knew that.
No, I have a friend Jim, and we talk about this more often than we probably should. About how, on average, men seem to like bananas more than women. I've asked a lot of people this question actually, and that's the general consensus is men seem to rate bananas higher than women do as far as fruits go. So I guess I have a question for you, John and Mark. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate a banana? In terms of fruit, like in terms of all fruit, how would you rate a banana on a scale of 1 to 10?
Just versus other fruit?
Yeah. So like if I was like, oh, like as far as fruits go, how would you rate a banana 1 through 10?
I'd say I'd rate a banana around a 7.
7. You know, I take the banana as the average fruit. I compare everything else to banana. So I think that banana is like a solid 5.
I'm like in the 8, sometimes 9 range. Usually like 8. I feel like I'm a banana fan, but
bananas are really good.
A lot of the women I ask, 4s and 5s, like consistently 4s and 5s. A lot of the women I ask do not like bananas. But the men are all like consistently 7 or above usually. I mean, Mark, I actually think you're an outlier in this, from my experience.
I say that, but I buy 5 bananas every week, and I eat a banana every day for lunch at work, every day, and I would never change that.
It does sound to me like bananas are a little bit higher than a 5.
Maybe you're right.
They are essential, though. It's kind of like his very universal rating system is compared against bananas. So it's not so much that they can fit in the rating system so much as they are the basis for the rating system.
Mm.
Yeah, bananas are like key to my world. If I didn't have bananas, I'd feel like I wouldn't know how to place other fruit. You know what I mean? So maybe that is higher than a 5.
Why do yellow fruits taste better than other fruits too? In my opinion, I'm going to go off a tangent here for you guys here a second. Yellow kiwis, superior to the green kiwi. Yellow watermelon, superior to the pink watermelon. Bananas, the superior fruit. Why are yellow things tastier?
Pineapple.
Pineapple.
I will admit defeat to pineapple. Pineapple is delicious. But I would argue that gooseberries, which are yellow, are absolutely terrible.
I don't know that I've ever had one.
They taste like tomatoes.
I mean, I like
very
tomato,
odd.
But that's not a fruit flavor.
I mean,
though.
I guess technically tomato is a fruit, but that's a whole different argument that we can do on another episode.
That should have been my
good question.
Tomatoes are a vegetable.
What about the yellow fruit makes it so good tasting? I'm trying to think of other fruits. I mean, what are other good fruit colors? Grapes are okay. They're purple.
They're good.
Yeah.
But they don't have any backup. Like plums. Plums and grapes kind of samey. You know, I think it's the variety of the yellow fruit that really gives it the...
The other argument I will throw against yellow fruit is that Granny Smiths are way better than Golden Deliciouses. Apples.
Ooh.
And that is a you kind of teeter on the edge of yellow there with the Granny Smith apple, right?
I will admit that, but they are definitely more green than they are yellow.
Definitely more yellow than they are red. So.
Oh, man.
Yeah, red.
Wait a minute.
Is straight out.
What other yellow fruits are there? I wonder. I don't know. I feel like we have to ask NASA about this.
It is a good question. There's some science to be done here.
So I think we're in agreement that if like extraterrestrials came to Earth and they were like, what do Earthlings like to eat? We would say banana. You got to try the banana.
Banana.
Yes.
Gotta try the banana.
Yeah, bananas are a must. If you have to eat candy, avoid the orange ones. Orange candy is the worst. Purple
We
and red
are a
candy
color-based dietary society. I learned today that I don't know why men prefer it better than women, but bananas occasionally trigger a latex allergy.
Oh,
it's interesting.
Like they trigger it like someone eats a banana and they get a reaction like they touch latex if they're allergic to it.
Yeah. Yep.
Huh.
Well,
I wonder what that is. I wonder if bananas and latex have like a similar compound in them or something.
It's got to be something rather close then if it triggers a similar response.
Yeah.
I just wonder what it is.
Too much potassium. Latex, known for the amount of potassium that it holds.
shall we try another?
Yeah, on to the next one.
Friends, question number 5 from Sydney. Can you make half a sandwich, or is that just a small sandwich?
I mean,
the way I would look at this is if you get like the Hawaiian buns, the Hawaiian rolls, and make a sandwich, that's a small sandwich. If you get a slice of bread and you make a sandwich and cut it in half, that's a half a sandwich. But there's this like gray area, I feel like, if you get 2 pieces of bread, cut it in half, and then make only half of that, I feel like that is making half a sandwich. but it still involves cutting a whole sandwich in half.
That's so complicated.
A whole 2 pieces of bread in half to make a half sandwich.
But why? Why would you ever do that?
I agree. I don't think it's logical to do that, but that is how I feel you would make a half a sandwich.
I follow that logic. See, I don't think it's a sandwich when it's just 2 pieces of bread, though. So I think when you cut the 2 pieces of bread, you're cutting bread. So you can make half a sandwich without making a whole sandwich first, I think.
Okay. I can see that. I was oddly specific with my cutting technique, I guess.
What if it's 1 piece of bread that you fold in half?
Oh!
That's
a good question.
I feel like we're dipping perilously close into the is a hot dog a sandwich argument as well.
Very much. Well, is a taco a hot dog? But again.
Oh, because okay, so if we decide that folding a piece of bread in half and putting something in between that, like peanut butter on one side, jelly on the other side, folded in half, that's half a sandwich, right? What if I replace the peanut butter and jelly with a hot dog? Now that's a whole sandwich?
Ooh, wow, man. I was with you with the folding it in half could be a half a sandwich. But now the 1 piece of bread is making a whole hot dog.
Yeah.
A whole hog, if you will.
And then what if I cut that hot dog in half? Is that half?
No!
Well,
Stop, what are you doing?
Okay, if you cut it in half, that is a half a sandwich. I won't budge on that one.
Is it or is it a quarter of a sandwich? Because if that's if we decide that a hot dog is a half a sandwich and we cut that in half, is that a quarter of a sandwich?
No. If you fold up 1 piece of bread, that makes a whole hot dog sandwich. And then you cut that in half, then that's a half a sandwich. I feel like there's some magic that happens even if you use only 1 piece of bread that makes it a whole sandwich.
I feel like the definition we've settled on is that unless it's a hot dog, a sandwich has to have 2 separate pieces.
That's how I feel. Yeah.
There has to be a clear layer of no bread for it to be a whole for it to be a sandwich.
So okay. So I think the tiebreaker here is right. I think that's correct because ice cream sandwiches.
Oh yeah.
Have 2 pieces with ice cream in the middle.
Yeah. Right.
They don't connect. Right. Ice cream sandwiches are sandwiches. If you cut that in half, you have half an ice cream sandwich. So I think that's probably. I think that's accurate, right? Two slices of something is a whole sandwich.
Yeah.
1 slice folded in half is a half a sandwich. If you cut the bread in half and then put it down, that's a small sandwich. But if you fold it in half, it's half a sandwich.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I see where you're going with this. Okay. It's a number of pieces of bread. Yeah.
Or pieces of whatever.
2 pieces of bread. Yeah, it could be whatever. But what if your hot dog bun breaks apart? Is it now a hamburger? Or is this too deep?
Oh, like if the hot dog bun breaks in half.
Right.
Because a hot dog's a sandwich. It's the exception to the rule, right? It's the only sandwich that doesn't have to have 2 pieces.
Okay, yeah. It's exception that proves the rule.
Yeah. But now your hot dog bun is split in half.
It's still a sandwich, but is it a hamburger or a hot dog still?
Okay, I would say that's an open-faced sandwich.
Oh.
I don't think it's either. I think it's a bologna sandwich.
Okay, that's a lot better than where my brain went. I went to open face hot dog sandwich, and I did not like that idea.
No, you were right to be upset about that.
Feels a bit odd.
You're like, no, horrible. I feel like it's dangerous territory. You could be just eating a sandwich, and at any time, it could become anything else.
I would be careful too, John, because if you say the words hot dog sandwich in public, you might be arrested.
I'm pretty darn sure there are laws against that, and I'm not willing to find out if there are for sure or not.
Gotta roll the dice, man.
For science.
Take risks. Well, Sydney, I hope that was enlightening. In relation to sandwiches, we have a question from David. Good old David. David asks, does anyone really know the Muffin Man?
The Muffin Man?
The Muffin Man.
Does anyone know the Muffin Man?
Does anyone really know him?
We literally quoted that yesterday to my son, who has never seen Shrek before. And he was so confused. He was like, what are you doing? My wife was like, he's seen it before. And I was like, yeah, he was 2. And I was like, we were watching Shrek.
He knew the Muffin Man, but now he's forgotten him. He was too young when he knew the Muffin Man.
I know some bakers, but they're not like
Muffin Man.
They're not, okay, so is the Muffin Man a man who makes muffins, or is he a man made of muffins?
Oh.
I mean, I guess if we knew him better, we would know.
It's true. I know a man who makes muffins. I don't know a man made of muffins.
He hasn't been like involved in a horrifying teleportation device accident where a muffin fell into the other teleportation device.
Got too close to a radioactive muffin.
a real Goldblum scenario there. Where
So there's an argument to be made as well that not all bakers are muffin men, but all muffin men are bakers.
It's true. Like, if you exclusively bake muffins, you're still a baker.
Right.
But if you bake other things, you're not a muffin man.
You no longer can be a muffin man.
You lose your Muffin Man license.
Yeah.
Is that croissant over there? No, it's muffin, I swear. It's unique. I'm trying something new.
License revoked!
Jared, you know that's a macaroon. I know that's a macaroon.
In a dark dystopian future where all bakers want to do is make something other than muffins.
The Muffin Man law has other ideas.
Can we get Arnold to be the Arnold Schwarzenegger to be like the Muffin Man police? I hear it coming. Someone's going to do the impression. I can hear it. I know it's coming.
Well, I was more so trying to work out the Muffin Man Terminator pun, but it's just there's nothing there. I can't find it. Muffinator.
I defaulted to Kindergarten Cop. I was trying to figure out how to do who is your daddy and what does he do, but with muffins. I couldn't think of anything.
Okay.
He makes muffins. Good. As every baker should. So I think as Muffin Men are a subset of bakers, that would make them harder to know. So I would say that would make it less likely that anyone really knows the Muffin Man, you know?
Yeah. I just feel that's a good answer to that question.
Yeah. That makes sense to me.
I also, in my research, before we move on, just wanted to bring up that there is a Dutch version of the Muffin Man.
Ooh.
He's called the Muscle Man.
The Muscle Man?
Yeah, like the little tiny clams. The Muscle Man. Who do you want to know more, the Muffin Man or the Muscle Man?
I can't tell if you're joking or not.
That's real. That's real, people. The Muscle Man is real. He's out there.
He's out there.
Okay. Catherine, dear old Catherine, asks us, why don't plants move?
No one's asked them to?
They had a long day at work. They just want to sit there.
No one's asked them to politely?
Well, that's true.
I was just going to say, I don't know why, but this question kind of like... Do you ever see that SNL short with Christopher Walken, where he puts googly eyes on plants?
Oh.
That's all I can think of now. It's like, if you see this big plant, I put googly eyes on the plant. to make it look nice.
See, plants don't have to move because there's always a nice Christopher Walken-esque person nearby to do things with them and give them what they need, like googly eyes.
Everything they need is right within reach? Yeah, we'll go with reach.
Also, can you imagine if plants could move? And what's his name from what's the plant from Little Shop of Horrors?
Why am I blanking?
Yeah, it's not Seymour because Seymour is the guy.
Audrey 2.
A voice just came into my head. It's Audrey 2.
Audrey 2. Yes, Audrey 2. Can you imagine if it just like if plants could walk, it'd be a bunch of Audrey 2s. They'd be coming after us for sure. Like, why didn't you water me?
Or they could be helping defend us from Isengard or taking us to Isengard. Because my brain went to Mossbeard. Oh, I don't know if it's Mossbeard. Treebeard, thank you. Because my brain immediately went to Treebeard, so he could be helping take us to Isengard.
Oh, you know what? That's the answer. Even if you ask plants to move, it takes them like a decade to figure out if they want to or not. Yeah. Because, like, Ents take, like, years to make decisions like, should we go that direction? So, like, maybe plants are the same way?
Until two little hobbits come in and tell them what to do very sternly.
So that Lord of the Rings is really a movie about how to get what you want from your plants. It's a gardening show.
Yeah, it's in order to make them mad, all you have to do is take up slash and burn horticulture.
Speak to them very sternly.
Yeah. Feel like there's some kind of lesson in there too as well about if you don't treat your plants right, you'll end up with Mordor.
Yeah. Yeah, I see that. I have another question from Allie. Allie asks, how does one transport a giraffe?
You open up the transport truck, put the giraffe in, you close the door.
That's easy.
Yeah.
It does feel like that's the right answer.
But what do you want to do? What do you do if you want to get a bear into the transport truck?
You have to be more careful. Bear's dangerous.
With the giraffe?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't put a bear and a giraffe together. Seems potentially dangerous for the giraffe.
I was going to say for the bear.
You do got a lot of reach with those necks. I'll give them that.
I think if you... Okay, here's what you do. So the truck, it's like an open... It's got an open top. Right?
Okay.
So you get the giraffe onto the truck, and there's like a crane with a platform lowered into the truck. So the giraffe walks onto the crane platform, right? Which is in the truck. So they're both in the truck.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the bear is lured by the scent of delicious giraffe to get in the truck, and you lift the giraffe out as the bear enters.
This is good problem solving.
I have it on good authority that giraffes are like turtles. If you put them on their back, they can't get back up.
What?
So what you do, I don't know if that's true. So what you do is you put a giraffe on its back, and then you slide it into an 18-wheeler. Because they're about the size of a giraffe laying down, right?
Yeah.
And if you need to transport more than one giraffe, you just stack them up. Like a deck of cards.
Like Tetris.
Yeah. You put one in feet first, and you put the other in head first, and then you go back and forth until they're to the top.
Efficient giraffe packing.
Takes a person of intense and immense spatial awareness to make sure giraffes are loaded in correctly. You wrap them in bubble wrap first. I mean, come on, you don't want to knock them around too much.
Yeah. Make sure the giraffes are safe for shipping.
Yeah, they got them bony knees. You don't want them rattling around back there. That's for sure. Wrap them up, bubble wrap.
Don't send them through Amazon either, because the boxes will get all mangled. So.
I was just not going to send them through Amazon because that seems very lion-filled as well.
That's true.
Ha-ha!
Too many predators. If you send them through Amazon.
Ah.
They only delivered half my giraffe. I can't believe this.
Oh.
Yeah, I only got the top half. This is garbage.
There's a catastrophe.
I have a science question from Ryan. Are you ready?
Ready.
Sure.
Would it be possible for a moon the size of Neptune orbiting a planet the size of Jupiter to have its own moon?
Is Jupiter bigger than Neptune?
Yes.
Hmm.
But if Neptune was a moon of Jupiter, it would be quite startling, because Neptune is also very big.
Yes.
Right.
Would you have a moon that did like a figure eight? Like it's Neptune's moon part of the time, and then when it gets into the orbit of Jupiter, it goes around Jupiter, and then comes back around and goes back into Neptune. You have this like figure eight system where it has a moon, but it has a moon half the time, and then sometimes Jupiter has an extra moon about half the time.
Doesn't Jupiter have moons with moons?
I don't know. I did a little research on this, and there are none naturally occurring, but there are. I don't think, anyway. Maybe my research was off. But there are some planets or some moons where it's theorized that they had moons.
Okay.
Saturn's moon Iapetus has a famous ridge along its equator. And they think at one point it got hit by something, and then the debris came out and formed a ring and also a moon. And the moon's moon pushed the ring into the planet to make the ridge.
Okay.
The moon's moon would be called colloquially a moonito, a moonette, or a moon. That's a moon with 4 O's.
You know, I mean, it's just a little bit jarring because I'm not used to the Derek character talking about space. But
Derek?
never mind.
One of these days we'll figure out who these people are you're talking about.
Probably not.
Justin's imaginary friends.
That seems like a likely explanation.
Oh, by the way, I looked it up. The muscle man did exist. I hate that so
What?
much.
He's real! I told you! The muscle man! He's out there. He's out there on a moon, watching you.
Yeah, in the Dutch version, mussels are substituted for muffins. Why?
Because they can.
They're Dutch. They do whatever they want. But yeah, I Justin, I really like your idea of a moon doing a figure eight. That feels very orderly to me. If that were to happen, that just makes sense almost, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, at least it feels like something that someone would come up with who didn't know anything about space, but could see stars. And it was like, what if this happened?
Yeah.
I feel like you could tell some great ancient myths with a story like that. You know, if you're going on your theory that that's someone who can see stars but has no idea how space works, I bet you come up with some amazing stories for like why that happens.
Nah, nobody's ever done that.
Ancient people are famously uncreative, boring jerks.
Famously, don't tell stories and don't look up at the sky.
They're always looking at the plants. They're looking at the ground to make sure they're not moving.
The ground isn't moving or the plants aren't moving?
Ooh.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Gentlemen, we arrive at question 10, our final question from Derek. Derek asks, why Castoreum?
Why Castoreum?
Castoreum. That's all one word.
Okay.
Castoreum.
I cheated. And I looked it up. And I agree.
Explain.
It is a yellowish exudate from the castor sac of a mature beaver.
Ooh.
Yeah, woo.
Ugh.
I guess they extract it to make perfume, which sounds super gross.
Indeed
It's
it
kind of
does.
like the poop coffee. You're like, why? But you guys know about the poop coffee?
It
Tell
sounds
us about
vaguely
that.
familiar.
Tell us about the poop coffee.
They let what is it? It's not capybaras. They let some animal eat coffee beans and then they poop them out whole because they don't digest them well. And then people go through their poop and pull out the coffee beans and grind them up and make coffee with them. And everybody talks about how good they are, and then they did a blind taste test with it once, and everybody was like, "This coffee sucks."
Oh. Hey, this coffee tastes like crap.
It kind of reminds me of that, but with smell instead of coffee.
Ugh.
Every human sense has one really gross thing like that.
Castor sacs are not true glands on a cellular level. I don't know what that means, but that's interesting.
If you're reading the same article that I read, you're going to find out soon that in Sweden, they use castoreum to flavor schnapps. And
Ooh.
that is called beverhjort, which translates to beaver shout.
Yeah, I just saw
Beaver
that.
shout.
Beverhjort.
Is there a word for when different countries or cultures use super gross things to flavor food? Because I feel like that pops up a lot.
Yeah, it's like the maggots in cheese. Like some cheese just has maggots in it, and that's supposed to make it better somehow.
Yeah. I feel like if you did a blind taste test of that too, people would be like, this cheese sucks.
This just sucks. It's gross.
The one I always find interesting about castoreum is all the articles saying that it's used in the production of artificial vanilla flavoring.
Ugh.
Oh, I have heard that. Yeah. And I think it's true. I think they do use it in artificial vanilla flavoring.
A quick cursory glance shows inconclusive evidence, but it's the internet.
It's like it's also like I always think of that episode of Futurama where they get all the ambergris and they make the perfume out of it.
Yeah.
And it gets explained to you by Roseanne Barr.
Yeah. Oh, that was a good show.
Maybe we could invite Roseanne Barr onto this podcast at some point. She can explain castoreum to us.
She's not problematic at all.
No.
She's doing the rounds.
I wonder if I went back in time to a time when Roseanne Barr wasn't a problematic person.
Have to go awfully far back, I feel.
Quick, John, tell me, is Saget still alive?
No?
Okay, then no, I haven't gone back in time.
You'd have to go all the way back to when the ocean was full of pepper instead of salt. All right. I think it's time to reveal which of our 3 statements was true.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Should we go in the same order that we went in before?
Yeah.
Sure. We'll make it easy. So my truth was that Venus is the only planet that spins clockwise.
The only planet that spins clockwise.
I really wanted it to be the apple.
The dog one. Was it a dog or was it monkey? Did you say monkey? Okay. So I knew that one was wrong because the first one's a dog, right? The dog that they sent that Russia sent into space?
Nope. That dog was... Oh, that wasn't Sputnik. I cannot remember the dog's name, and I'm disappointed. Wait.
Laika.
That's right.
Yeah.
So was the dog not the first animal in space, or was it?
Nope, it was not.
Oh. What was the first animal in space?
It was... The first animal in space was fruit flies.
Oh, that makes sense.
Because insects are technically part of the animal kingdom.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah, I would not have gone that direction, but that doesn't make sense. Yeah.
But that's the point of it. Everyone's going, oh, monkey, oh, dog, because that's what you think of when you hear animal, but technically insects are animals.
Mm.
One giant leap for all flea kind.
Little flea spacesuits.
Little-
Do you think they knew? They were like, Steve's going to space. We gotta go in a spacesuit. The humans are going up.
I hope they sent him up with a banana. That's what I would have wanted.
That would be ideal to transport them. That is the best fruit. Well, one of the best fruits.
It's been decided on this show, so it's canon now for everybody.
My true fact was in the Florida Keys, the island of Little Duck Cay was formerly known as Big Money Cay.
Yes.
Big money.
Big money. Apparently the Florida Keys have been named and renamed many, many times. They were originally known by one name by the people who lived there. Then they put a highway through the area, and the highway people gave them new names, which became like the federal names. But then the people who lived there gave them a third name, which is how they're known colloquially by the state.
Okay.
That oddly feels like a national form of colonialism.
Yeah, right? Jeez.
It's like putting a highway in and then going in and being like, you guys are wrong. It's called this now.
That's Little Duck. That's not Big Money.
Like, isn't that what the Spanish did to South America?
Yeah.
Oh.
A lot of things were done to South America that were not okay. Unfortunately, a lot of them being related to bananas.
True.
True.
Oh, no.
Yeah, a lot of bananas don't exist anymore because of that. So.
Yep.
Oh.
I have to re-examine my love for bananas now. It's not as unproblematic as I thought.
That is fair.
So, my lie, or no, I'm sorry, it was 2 lies and a truth, right?
Right.
So my truth was that seahorses don't have stomachs. They have one big digestive tube.
Ooh.
And then they poop it all out.
Dang.
And that's it. It's very odd. Seahorses are really weird animals.
They really are.
They're pretty cool, yeah.
Sharks don't live nearly that long. Sharks live like 40 to 70 years. They do not live 150 years.
Really?
Great white sharks, rather.
Okay.
But I want to go back to the owl one because that's a callback to last year when I was on April Fool's when I talked about owl eyes, because owl eyes aren't actually eyeballs; they're tubes.
What? Really? Are you messing with us right now?
No, owl eyes are like tubular.
Huh.
That was one I faxed last year or the year before. I think it was last year. But like owls can't move their eyes because they're like not actually circular.
Oh my god!
They're like a weird shape.
Almost like a cone.
Yeah, they have like cylindrical cone like eyes that aren't eyeballs, and that also means that they can't really like turn them, which is why they can turn their heads like that because their eyes don't move like eyeballs.
Okay.
Yeah, they're very odd. Here we go. I have a picture. Oh, I don't know if I can share my screen on this. Here we go. Oh, look at that.
Cool.
So this is what an owl eyeball looks like.
Huh.
And yeah, it's like a cylindrical, like it's almost like a mushroom shape, right?
Yeah.
And they just like they can't turn their eyes, so they have to be able to turn their head, which I always thought was kind of cool.
Yeah, that is really interesting.
So, last year listeners really got that one. Maybe.
Hopefully.
So my last statement, bowling balls float, actually is true, provided that they are 12 pounds or under. So I thought that was interesting.
You would think that's interesting.
Right? Yeah. I'm I would. You say that like it's a bad thing.
Well, I wanted to be as condescending as possible because I'm bad at bowling, so.
Oh, I see.
What happened to Mark and John?
They're not
I
on
didn't
this
know you
week.
knew them.
Yeah.
They're not on this week.
What year is it?
What year?
What year is it?
Is Roseanne Barr still problematic?
Oh, I don't know. Interesting story about Roseanne Barr, though, that I was watching a video. Roseanne Barr was giving an interview with somebody, I don't remember who, and they were talking about the moon landing conspiracy theories. And Roseanne was saying all this stuff about, if you look at the evidence, it's really compelling that it was all staged. And somebody asked, so you think Buzz Aldrin was just lying about everything? And she says, who's Buzz Aldrin?
Okay.
Of course she has no idea who he is.
Yep, there's your credibility.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Everyone who has ever talked about the moon landing being fake has no authority whatsoever to talk about space.
Many of them don't know Buzz Aldrin. They certainly don't know Michael Collins.
I almost don't even know Michael Collins.
He's the guy that stayed up in the capsule when they landed.
I do.
Oh, okay.
I knew that.
A lot of people don't know that. It's not common knowledge because he didn't do anything important. So.
All right. So thanks for tuning into our April Fool's episode this week, and I'm gonna have to ask Jim. Do we have any listener mail this week?
We do. And as always, if you want to send us any feedback on anything we talked about today or any old time, you can email us at feedback@vaguelyscientific.com. You can comment on our blog. You can like us on Facebook. You can tweet at vaguelysci. And I know that in the past we have said that we've retired our listener mail segment just so that we can expand the answer segment of the show. But on our April Fool's episode, we like to air out some of the ones that we got on our blog that are for sure not written by humans. So
what?
I mean that's my inkling, that's my guess here. But I have a couple here that I saved because I find them particularly great. So I'm going to start right up here at the top of this list here. This email comes to us from Rama. If you're looking for online Illinois license plate sticker renewals, then you have need to come to the right place. We offer the fastest Illinois license plate sticker renewals in the state.
Somebody owes us ad money, I think.
That'd be nice.
You have need to come to the right place.
I sure have.
Next up, we have an email from Hot Model. So he froze a portion of our galaxy and crafted an ice body for himself. Ymir. Yesterday it was chilly, but no snow or ice even, and nowadays perfectly it is everywhere. Such a disgrace for the gateway makers seeing the wet stormy temperature now and the vacant promenade. Shame there is not a coffee kiosk all year round on the promenade. Love the stunning heart created of sandcastles. Shame it will be misplaced shortly as the tide is coming in. Reply to Boy. Yes, I agree with your concerning the horseshoe-shaped wall created on the seahorse to produce a seawater swimming pool where the tide goes out. What Hunstantian needs a horseshoe-formed wall crafted on the beach to create a seawater swimming pool when the tide goes out? Does any person concur? Further down, the seahorse of Ben the Sea reaches its organization.
Uh-huh.
I'm proud of myself because I did not read most of this before I just jumped right into it. When I save these, I save them in a Word document because then I delete them off of the thing because it saves space. And I'll read the first 2 or 3 part, I read down to such a disgrace for the gateway makers. And I was like, this seems like a good one to save. And then I never read the rest of it. It is incredible. Wow.
It starts off talking about Iceman from X-Men.
Yeah.
And then it kind of goes into almost, are they talking about a softcore porn? and then it ends on the beach. And I don't know where I landed on that.
It was a full-length film with a 3-act structure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was just the most recent X-Men movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't see it. I believe you.
Yeah. The most recent X-Men movie, which was also tastefully softcore.
That's by Rob Liefeld. I don't know.
Yeah.
Too many feet.
This next one comes to us from David Wedge. Asian street food vendors are the true heroes, serving up mouthwatering treats that are both affordable and delicious.
Hey, I can't even argue.
Yeah, you know what? That's why I kept it in here, because I was like, this is just true. Next up, we have one from Frida Gorenberg. I'm based in London, have worked as a secretary for more than 10 years, and have an HND in business studies, but I'm tired of admin work and office politics and would like to do something more creative. Change careers. I write in my spare time and have attended an advanced writing course for the past 3 years, and I'm writing a novel. I would like to see if I could train to teach creative writing in further education colleges, etc., or in English/English literature. I would also be grateful if I could get any info on what qualifications you need to be able to teach English as a first language and basic literacy skills and ESOL.
Jim, I told you to take our request for resumes off the website.
Yeah, I meant to do that, but we were getting a lot of really good questions through random resumes at vaguelyscientific.com, which is not a real email address, by the way. This is April Fool's. Don't send anything to that. It will bounce.
Yeah. Next episode, we're going to be doing how much room for advancement is there on Vaguely Scientific.
Yeah, right.
I have an answer for her, though.
Okay.
Don't.
That's the correct
No,
answer.
Yeah. This next one comes to us from Cheap PlayStation Video Games. The information contained in Vaguely Extra number 11, Lucky 7 Outtakes, will be life-saving for a lot of us fascinated about the subject. It is not always easy to come across the skillful tips of a respected professional.
I wish I remembered what was in that episode, because
I mean, we get a lot of emails that really they really like our outtakes episodes, and they say that they have used those outtakes episodes as a method to improve their lives. So
that's true.
I don't know what it is about our outtakes. Yeah, I mean,
we should leave them in.
Yeah, maybe we should. This next one comes to us from Ant-Man Wasp Quantumania. Hello. I really like your writing a lot. Percentage we'd be in contact more approximately your post on AOL. I need a specialist in this house to resolve my problem. Maybe that is you. Having a look forward to see you. I love this one a lot. It's so much fun to say out loud. I'm so happy that I got to read it.
I just have to say, Paul Rudd, you're welcome on the show anytime.
Yeah, anytime Paul Rudd wants to come on the show, I'm down for it. So
I think it's interesting that you get an email from Kevin Feige.
Yeah. Also owes us ad money.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, get that Disney ad. Get that Disney money.
Get that Disney money, yeah.
All right, this next one comes to us from diphosphorus pentoxide for sale. Corrosion inhibitors are chemical compounds that are added to fluids, such as oil or water, to prevent corrosion. Corrosion inhibitors work by forming a protective barrier on the surface of the metal, which prevents corrosive substances from coming into contact with the metal. There are several different types of corrosion inhibitors, including organic, inorganic, and mixed inhibitors. The benefits of using corrosion inhibitors. Protection against corrosion. The primary benefit of using corrosion inhibitors is that they provide protection against corrosion. By forming a protective barrier on the surface of the metal, corrosion inhibitors prevent corrosive substances from coming into contact with the metal, thereby reducing the likelihood of corrosion. Extends equipment life. Using corrosion inhibitors can help you to extend the life of your equipment, Corrosion can cause equipment to fail prematurely, which can be costly to repair or replace. By preventing corrosion inhibitors can extend the life of your equipment, saving you money in the long run. Reduced maintenance costs. Reduced maintenance costs. Another benefit of using corrosion inhibitors is that they help to reduce maintenance costs. Corrosion can cause equipment to require more frequent maintenance, which can be costly and time-consuming. By preventing corrosion inhibitors can help to reduce frequency of maintenance required, saving you both time and money. And finally, improved safety. Corrosion can also pose a safety hazard in some industries. For example, if corrosion were to cause a pipeline to fail, it could result in a hazardous spill or other safety hazard. By preventing corrosion inhibitors can help to improve safety in these types of situations.
I've abandoned every joke I was planning to make just to tell you, Jim, you need to use that as a monologue to audition for something.
Jeez. They would throw me out within the first 35 seconds.
If it wasn't obvious, Jim was reading all of the misspellings in there, and that was making me laugh a lot.
I was saying, if they threw you out in the first 35 seconds, you could say, no, there's still 5 minutes of this monologue.
Yeah.
Excuse me, I have more.
And not to toot my own horn, but again, I do cold read these. I saved this one because it was giant in the first paragraph, made me laugh. So,
the whole thing made me laugh.
Yeah, the first paragraph.
This is like, how many of these do you go through that is more than one paragraph?
Well, a lot of them, like the first paragraph, I'll throw them out like right away because a lot of them are kind of really boring, or like they are about casinos and stuff like that, and it's like, this isn't fun to read. It's just like an ad. But some of them are just a joy. You know what I'm saying? Some of them are just a joy to read, and I love them.
I felt like this one was educational, but I also feel like there were so many spelling errors in it that it can't be all correct.
Right.
This person can't know this much about corrosion.
Right.
You can't win them all, right?
I want to inhibit corrosion as much as the next guy, but I feel like I need to go to a more reputable source here. Well, thank you, the internet, for those blog comments, as always. And if you have a question that needs to be answered in a vaguely scientific manner, please email us at questions@vaguelyscientific.com. If you want to get our episodes the minute that they're released, you can subscribe to our podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and all the other cool places podcasts like to hang out. And subscribing and leaving feedback really helps us out, and so does telling your friends.
Tell all of your friends. We actually had an April Fool's episode this year.
Yeah, we didn't skip this week for once. Our vaguely musical intro is composed by Anthony Pizzelli. And don't forget to check out our merch store over at vaguelyscientific.threadless.com. You know, I think it's about high time that you got a cool t-shirt. Because all your t-shirts that you own right now they're okay cool, but you need like a doubly cool shirt.
Yeah, not to throw shade on your t-shirts, but like they could be better.
Yeah.
So thanks to Justin for being our guest this week.
So I did look it up during the ad break. Roseanne Barr is still pretty problematic.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Did you really have to look it up? I feel like you could have just guessed.
Jim, if you'd have been where I was the last hour... It's a legitimate question.
I mean, you were here the whole time.
It's how I gauge
you did kind of
reality.
seem really spacey this whole episode. I didn't want to call you out on it.
Yeah, that is demonstrably true.
It is how I gauge reality now, is whether or not Roseanne Barr is problematic.
Jim and I are used to carrying the show when you're on, but I mean, come on.
Don't give Roseanne Barr any money.
For Vaguely Scientific, I am Derek.
I'm Jim.
I guess I was here. So.
And
Right.
April Fools! Woo!
Toodaloo, everyone.
And a very special thanks to Jonathan and Mark for doing this episode with us. Thanks, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Hope it was not disconcerting, but like as soon as I muted my mic, you guys have been making me laugh this whole time.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that feels like a good sign.
I realized, like, somebody said something and I started laughing. I was like, oh, I didn't mute myself. I got it.
I heard you a little bit.
Wait, not laughing at us, right?
I mean, in a
Well,
good way.
Okay, there. Yeah.
Well, we can't laugh with you if you weren't also laughing.
Yeah.
Okay.